Here we are, stop number 4, Major League Fishing Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit on Lake Guntersville. This should be a fun event. There's going to be a lot of things going on. Guntersville has changed a bit over the years. I don't think in years past, early May, you'd be thinking ledge, deep fishing, offshore, lots of schooled fish, but I don't think that's going to be the case with the late spring and the emergence of eelgrass on Guntersville. I really think this is going to be a shad spawn, grass fishing derby. I think there's going to be a few spawning fish left. If you remember last year or the year before, Caleb Kufall won early May flipping and punching. Guys did well on frogs. Polnick did okay fishing offshore, but he didn't really contend for the win. So anglers will do well offshore, but I think the biggest bags will come out of the grass, and I think this tournament ultimately will be decided by the anglers that find the best fish in the grass, whether that's punching, frogging, or some other method of extracting these bass from the frog. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboards, and then we'll jump into the picks. Overall leaders in the whole entire game trio, it looks like I'm only about 200 pounds back. I feel like I've made up a little bit of ground. Must have had not a terrible pick week event. Checking the HellaBass leagues to see who's in contention. I'm also about 200 pounds there, but Scott Pitlick is leading the way, and he is in contention to win the gift cards from Super K. Scott and Rachel, if they have something to say about it, they're hoping to move ahead and score some of these Super K swim jig gift certificates by the end of the season. If you don't think you can wait till the end of the year, or you don't have any plans of tracking Scott down, feel free to go ahead and use the code down below, HellaBass15 at Super K Jigs, to score yourself a deal on some great American-made, hand-tied, made in Wisconsin, hand-poured, custom swim jigs. Links in the description if you need to find their website. So in my flight 1, I am going to take Mark Rose just to keep those offshore fish honest. On the off chance there is some deep roadbed, ledge, point, current, something, shell bed, Mark Rose is going to find them. So we're going to keep him on the team. He's going to get us some good points. And if somehow that is the win, Mark's going to be our guy. Michael Neal, great deep water angler, catches them everywhere, doing really well in points. Tennessee Valley guy, he's a solid pick. Chris Lane, now a local, he should know nothing about him, and his roots are in Florida in grass. So if anything, he should be more comfortable with Guntersville than he ever has been in the past. Miles Berghoff, super good with electronics. They call him Sonar. I think he'll do well here. He does well at places like Chickamauga and events like that. Last, our below 40 pick, Alex Davis is a local. He's a guide here. They used to call him the Spinnerbait Kid. He used to dominate on Guntersville. He actually won a May Toyota Series event several years ago. So look for Alex Davis to come out of his rut and have a big event at the Gville. Moving on to flight 2, Spencer Sheffield. He catches them everywhere. Like you cannot have. He's like the Jacob Wheeler of the pro circuit. John Hunter, super comfortable in the Tennessee River. Catches some shallow grass. He's just a solid pick. Justin Lucas, now a local in Alabama. I think he'll do well. He's having a really good season, both on the pro circuit and the BPT. Jacob Wall, young up-and-coming angler. He's actually a little older than his little tiny baby face picture looks, but he's a really solid angler, and he knows Guntersville quite well. Not afraid to break out the swim baits, which definitely could play like they did on Chickamauga in the Toyota Series. And lastly, we'll go with Randy Howell. He built that house after he won the Classic there. He should know something. His kids are out there all the time. He should have a vibe of what's going on, and being just below that 40 mark, he seems like a really solid pick to get some solid weight or points or whatever they do in this event for MLF Fantasy Fishing. And then my tiebreaker, I think somewhere between 70 and 80 pounds. I think it could take I think high end to be like low 20s per day, low end like 18 pounds a day. So somewhere in that 74 to 85 pounds. So I'm going to go about 74 pounds, 7 ounces. It's not the Guntersville of yesteryear. It's still an excellent fishery, but I just don't think they're going to crank out like 20, 25 pounds a day. I think it's going to be a little under that. Still going to be some good weights. It's going to be solid limits up and down the field. Hopefully there's some tips that you guys can help catch the leaders and move up and maybe even win yourself a rod and reel in this event. Speaking of grass, there's nothing quite like a chatterbait or a bladed jig in grass. If you want to see my ideal setup for the chatterbait, rod and reel, line, bait combo setup, make sure you check out the video right here on the screen next.